Joe Milton grew up about an hour away from right here in Miami in a small town called Pahokee. The activity to pass the time in Pahokee was not watching television or playing video games. It was chasing rabbits. Mental health is an essential conversation in today's society, especially in sports. Now, we all know how important Evan Russell is to this lineup, but as family reiterated yesterday, some things are more important than baseball. Later in the fourth quarter, he was taken to the locker room and never returned. Josh Heupel did give an update, which was no update. He said they will reevaluate him when they get back to campus.
The freshman could be seen bawling his eyes out with Michigan head coach Juwan Howard embracing him after the game. Then there was the post-game press conference where Chandler had his head down and he was once again emotional.
Imagine a 6'3", 235-pound pass rusher barreling down on you, a sight that SEC quarterbacks are becoming accustomed to. Byron Young is that man, but he took the path less traveled to Rocky Top. Not much will change for the Vols from a scheme standpoint here at the Orange Bowl. Josh Heupel previously called plays for the Vols before, and he will continue to do that now with Alex Golesh out of the picture. An absolute stunning performance by the Vols in a good way. Lots of three-pointers, lots of buckets, and a lot of Kentucky fans here as well. You declared for the NFL draft. What was the thought behind that? Why are you doing that? They're as happy as Zakai Ziegler was after this one. Zakai hit the gritty after the win. I'm sure that was an ode to Ty Washington. Rick Barnes said during his post-game press conference of the SEC tournament title game that it's the start of a new season. He didn't know it at the time, but he was talking about right here in Indianapolis.
For the culture that we want to build and the identity that we want to have, you know, Avery just embodied that.
Avery Jamison's path toward varsity was clear-cut.
In 8th grade was my first time trying out for basketball, and I made the team.
It seemed like an easy layup. He would be playing basketball for at least the next 5 years. But he was forced to pivot.
I ended up breaking my back the season prior of track, doing high jump, so I didn't really get to play much that year. Never really got to develop, wasn't really good enough.
Jamison set the ball down and decided to step away from the game he loved for a couple of years.
I almost gave up, but then I kind of stayed fit. You know, I like to exercise.
Jamison's road to recovery was capped by one last shot at making varsity, an opportunity he wasn't going to miss.
I worked throughout the summer. You know, coach was, willing to give me a shot. Yeah, so I was really excited when he told me I made varsity.
Avery's varsity career was just tipping off, but he now understands that the buzzer can sound at any minute.
Even if you're not a senior, you never know when your last chance is going to be.
Jamison doesn't see much of the floor during games, but he still is a leader who creates a winning culture.
What he brings to the table with his positivity, with his high energy, with just his, his infectious personality, he thrives in that role.
Keep working and don't let anything that happens to you, change your work ethic and change who you are.
Well, the path was not as clear. Jamison found his place with the Panthers. Tennessee track and field is heading to Bloomington, Indiana for regionals. Multiple Vols and Lady Vols are pursuing a spot in nationals at the University of Oregon. But there is one freshman who is ready to break records and win a national title. Justin Gatlin and Christian Coleman torched the record books as sprinters at Tennessee.
#1 collegiate time, first time out for Christian Coleman.
The two paved the way for a future star who is also in the orange and white.
The main thing that made me come to Tennessee was Christian Coleman and Justin Gatlin.
The distance to get Favor Ashe to Tennessee was not a sprint. The freshman is from Nigeria.
Everyone in Africa is thinking, everyone has the mentality that coming to USA is a paradise.
Ashe raced his way to the United States.
I finally held my visa in my hand and I was like, I'm coming to Tennessee. When I was entering the plane, I was so happy. I was like, God has made my dream come true.
The freshman found his utopia on Tom Black track in Knoxville.
I see my improvement. That's a dream also. Everyone want to come to University of Tennessee.
Ashe has exploded off the blocks. In his first year at UT, he ran the fastest indoor 60-meter time by a freshman in Tennessee history. He followed that up by taking down Gatlin's 100-meter program freshman record at the SEC Championships.
It's Ashe who wins it, 10 points for Tennessee.
Doing this on my first year, that's so crazy. With time, like next year, I'm going to go super crazy, super fast.
Ashe is not just following the path laid before him.
He's ready to build his own trail that future generations can try to surpass. Reporting in Knoxville.
Tired, man. But we got to keep it going. Keep working for you all.
I'm Reece Van Haaften. 2 years ago, Oak Ridge basketball picked up a double-double.
Our freshman year in Georgia, we went 0-23. So then to move from there to here, our sophomore year, it's definitely been a huge transition, but we couldn't have asked for a better school to go to, really.
Jamison and Caden Updegraft have played on many basketball courts. The twins were raised in a military family.
8 or 9 states, 9 moves, something like that. So it's been quite the journey.
Traveling around the United States has made one thing clear to Caden and Jamison. There's nothing better than having a twin assist you along the way.
We knew that we'd always have at least one person to talk to when we transferred to new schools and stuff like that, so that was always helpful.
The twins always give each other an outlet in life, but also on the hardwood.
I'm looking at the floor, seeing where everybody is, but I really don't have to keep my eye out for Caden. I always kind of really know where he is on the court, whether that's, twin, telekinesis, whatever.
The connection breeds competition. Life is a one-on-one battle.
You can't go over that. That's Gab.
A sibling rivalry reveals the differences in their personalities.
I'm more of a kind of just chilled and kind of laid back a little bit, and I don't really mind what happens, and he's definitely more anal and more strict about some things.
Despite their differences, Jamison and Caden are best friends on the court of life. Reporting in Oak Ridge, I'm Reece Van Haaften.